Morning, everyone. Jose here. Eltel Cockerel. Week 18 results and week 19 predictions double show. I hope that everybody is well and rested, and some of you may be over the festivities. Some of you still may be partaking in the festivities. Yeah, I wish you all well. Crazy time to start, 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, but I had to fit this in. As people are aware, or some of you may be aware, I'm still all bunged up, but I've not been well at all for the whole week. Christmas has flown by. Family had a really, really good one. I enjoyed watching the family enjoy themselves. Alas, everything I did, I could not taste, as I've got no taste buds. So yeah, it's been one of those. I'm hoping to see the other side of it, and I'm hoping that I can do something this week more prevalent to health and that. And today, the reason for the early show is I always had the show for today because obviously there's matches tomorrow. But what I failed to realise when I set this up about 3 weeks ago is that my granddaughters are coming to visit today, and I've not seen them over Christmas. So they're coming to visit today. So I had to get this show done earlier than per usual. And also, I had a request from some of the members who live down under to have a show that was more pertinent to their timing. So I obliged. But anyway, without further ado, I've seen some of the comments that are in the chat already, and I must admit, I'm already smiling and I'm already amused. And yeah, you certainly perked me up, guys, already by some of the chats. So start with Ian Meth, who says, I've promised myself to hit the gym, not hit gym. Have a good one, and I'll get the scores in later. Yeah, for the people that don't get the scores in now live, you can always leave them in the comments after the show. Cooper says, laid awake all night watching Netflix. 8:20 a.m. I finally had to make a tough decision. Try and sleep for 40 minutes or try and stay awake for 40 minutes. Thank God for tea. Fantastic. Jimmy Hotspur, good morning, Jimmy. Says, big up, Jose, in the chat. A very good morning to you all. Good morning, Jimmy. I hope you are well. Carl Simpson, no need to sleep. It's overrated. Lol, ended up at 4 a.m. watching Shogun and giving up. I was well asleep by 4 a.m. in the morning. The one thing I will say, for not feeling well and being ill, the one thing I have had is I've got loads of sleeping. Or my Fitbit says I have anyway. Whether it's quality sleep or not, it's another thing. But I definitely have had a lot of sleep, and I just want this to do one, so I can do one, so I can get going, and be normal again. That would be good. Johnny Bethnal Green says, FNL, there goes my line in bed, Jose. Good morning. Good morning, you, Johnny. David Clark says, hi to everyone in the chat. My dog is very confused when I took him for his walk too early. Scott Colliver. Hi, Scott. I've not seen you in a while, mate. I hope you're well. Says, hello, Jose, in the chat. I hope you're well, Scott. Nice to see you here. Johnny says, if I pass out a game online, some effort, phone my missus up. And here we got Mr. Kagaya says, hail, 8:04 in Melbourne. Hope you all had a great Christmas. And you too, Peter. I hope you are well rested, sir. Bertie says, morning tell. Oh, there he is. He's here somewhere. There he is. Percy says, morning tell. My thoughts on the dart so far, mate. For me, it's been a slow burner, Percy. Obviously, my mate went out in the second round already. But it's been a slow burner. I think that'll pick up. I think we still got the likes of Littler and Van Gerwen still to play today, I think. But in looking at the darts, Humphreys looked imperious again yesterday. So I think the winner comes from Humphreys, Littler, and Van Gerwen. One of them three. I just think it's going with the people. I think it's going with the players in form at the moment. Yeah, I just think the players in form at the moment are the ones. So the players in form for me are Littler and Humphreys, but then Van Gerwen, you can never ever rule out Mighty Mike. Steve D says, morning fella. Good morning, Steve. I hope you're well, sir. Ronnie's here. Ronnie says, hello, Jose. Hello, Ronnie. I hope you're well. Can't stay, log on the shift. Oh, you starting work now, Peter? Peter, I mean, I messaged you in that, Peter, and you seem to be working 7 days a week, mate. It seems to be you're working every day. But fair play to you, you're starting now. Yeah, Littler tonight will be class. Carson, I like Luke Humphreys' dig at right. Perchy then says Humphreys is the one to beat right now. As I said, I think it's the players on form. They're going for me, says Ronnie. It's the players that came in on form that look like they carried the form through. Steve D says, oops, what does Steve D say? How easy did Coolham Luke win considering he didn't get a second game? That's what I'm saying. I just think it's the players that have come into the tournament on form, and that for me is Humphreys and Littler. But Van Gerwen can never be ruled out, and the three of them are still left in there. Although the only one that's through to the fourth round or the quarters or whatever is Luke, because he's the first one to play out the three of them. But the other two have still got a chance. Peter Kagaya says too many people taking time off. Is that what it is? So you're covering shifts, Peter. God bless you, mate. You're doing an important job for being a paramedic. We've had good discussions about this, but fair play to you, mate. Darts are for tribes in the deepest forest. Not for me, sorry. No characters in the game anymore. Ooh, I believe there are characters. Jimmy Hotspur says Luke the Nuke, the one to beat, in my opinion. And then Perch, he's coming back with strongly disagree. David Clark, I think it's bigger than ever right now, which I agree with. It's interesting. There's for Perch, you know, there's a darts competition today. It's £10 each to enter. At my local club, Gentlemen's Working Club, and now that Rob crosses out of the competition, Rob will be there today at our local in the competition. £10 each to enter, and the winner takes the pot. The winner is always Rob Cross. He wins it all the time. But what Rob does, everything that's in the pot, like the winnings, he hands over to the bar and just tells everyone to have a drink of it. So you're going in there, you're playing. Of course, you want to win, but you're up against him and his playing partner. He's got a playing partner, Adrian, who's also a professional darts player, and it's him and Adrian. They get separated in the draws, and they always end up invariably. It's both of them that meet in the final, and Rob wins it, and all the money he puts behind the jump so everyone can have a drink. So yeah, that's nice of him. But yeah, now that he's out, he'll be there today. I'm not sure because my grandchildren are coming around, so I won't be there today to go and watch and have a drink with him. But I'm sure that I'll probably catch up with him next week at some stage if I go down the club. Jimmy Hotspur says, yeah, I think it's the year for him. Have a look. Yeah. So Jimmy Hotspur says, Luke the Nuke. Okay, right, got ya. Kuba says, darts is a perfect alternative to Spurs. Keep throwing things while hoping for something to happen at board level. Go on, Kuba. Kuba's on fire this morning. Carl Simpson says, Luke ego is through the roof. Steve D's laughing at Kuba and so am I. Kuba has brought a smile to my face this morning. And so have the rest of you, but Kuba is just, he's on it. He's on it today. Carl Simpson, I don't think he has an ego. He's just a kid riding a wave right now, as everyone should be. Good morning, Shem Tam says, good morning, the boss man, Jose. I hope you had a lovely holiday and are happy and healthy. I'm happy. It was great watching everyone in the family, but personally, I've not been well. But I'm hoping to be better this week. My ears still need to pop, and I'm still all congested and bunged up, but I'm hoping that I'm on the other side of it. Chris Agambar. Good morning, Jose, and everyone in the chat. Good morning, Chris. I hope you're well. Carson says, Percher, you may be right. He is so young. The ego needs to be kept in check. And who's that one? And David Clark says his favourite player was John Lowe. John Lowe was some dart player back in the day. It was Lowe, Bristow, and Jockey Wilson, weren't it, that started it all off, that kicked off the rivalries back in the 70s and 80s. Johnny Bethnal, Greenies make you laugh as well. Look, 2 double espressos. I'm watching from the crapper. And also Peter Kagayas has gifted 5 channel memberships. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, Peter. They've gone to Queen Ellie Hoiberg, Gamecock, Early Doors Football TV, Pranav Adanki, and the Tottenham Ranger. So if you get these, if you receive the membership, then please thank Peter. Look who we've got here. Good to see you recovered, Jose Comer. I'm still in recovery, Mr. Shear. I feel better than what I have done. My ears still need to pop, and I'm still all congested. But the show needs to be done because I have my grandchildren coming to visit me today, and that will be the highlight of my week. The only thing is, my in-laws are elderly, and I've got issues, and I can't go round to theirs. Shame, because I'm bunged up, so you can't pass any germs on. So I can't go and meet and greet over at my in-laws, but I can in my own house. Johnny's got his hands full, says Carl Simpson, and then we've got David here says, "G'day, Johnny, you got the rounds or what?" And Johnny saying, "Carl, I'm keeping Tunbridge Wells sewers clear this morning with the old Bass bullets." Yeah. Shall we start, people? Shall we start? Right. We'll start. Let's start as we mean to go on. Right. So I need to bring up my screen. Right. My trusty steed has not been able to put the results into the back for me. So you'll have to bear with me today. And what we'll do is we'll start as we normally do with Predict the Football. Again, there's no change here. In fact, the leader has increased his lead, I believe. And it's Graham. Graham has now 18 points clear of Danny. There's been a shift because Danny is now gone into second. Destiny's dropped down to fourth. Rob Belcher's gone up into third. So Graham has 148 points. So Graham is now the leader. Well, we've still got the predictions this week. So Graham looks like he will be the leader going into the new year. He was the leader on box at Christmas. It looks like will be the leader going into the new year. But Dan is 18 points behind. Then you've got Rob Belcher, who's a previous leader. It's in third. Destiny's in fourth. The Sheriff, who's a previous leader, is in fifth. Chris Peters, another previous leader, is in sixth. Then you've got Tot Spurs in seventh. Ed M, Ryan, Rakdos, Smithy, Kevin Clark, who was a previous leader, dropping off the pace. And then if you see yourself, there's you've got Nate, Ronnie, Grant, Kuba, Carl, Scott Colliver, Neil, Paul G, Quez, then myself, Johnny, Milton Dragons, D's Nuts, Lee Wizkid, Side Dancer, and the rest of them make up the top 40. So well done, Graham. You're still in the lead, my friend. Still in the lead. Then we move on to second game, which is the Fantasy Premier League. And in the Fantasy Premier League, we have Tigaro. It says he's gone up to 58. I don't understand that because there's only 58 players. But he's got a green next to his name. So if he's got a green, we'll give it to him. And then you've got James has moved as well. Joris, the Belgian Hotspurs moved. Julie Sievers has moved up into 53rd. There's loads of green here. The Harmless Potatoes to 50th. Colin is into 49th. El Vasco is into 48th. John's into 47th. Leo is into 46th. Destiny's gone into 44th. Destiny needs to be on the back page all the time, so he's not done badly. Expected to look Ben Kaufman into 42nd, El Tel into 41st, Nick into 40th. The Good Lady is into 38th. Dave Williams into 34th. Alan's into 33rd. Ronnie's into 31st. Zoe's into 29th. Rob is into 24th. Hanno into 22nd. Graham is into 17th, gone up into 17th. Phil Coys is into 15th. Milton's up to 11th. Brendan's into 6th. Kuva is into joint 6th as well. Big points for Kuva, 74 this week. David is into 5th. Nathan Petis is up into 4th. And the leader is still the same. It's still Ryan is leading the way. But his lead's been cut by 4 points by Ped. Ped has cut his lead by 4 points because Ped's got 68 points this week and Ryan got 64. It's all to play for. So for the people that understand Fantasy Premier League, after the 29th, which is coming up this weekend, so the 29th, it's got to be after this game week, it's going to be. But after this game week, you can do wholesale changes. You've got your wild cards come back into action again on the 29th of December. So I've got a feeling that people may change their lineups somewhat and that things will change. David Clark says, good job Spurs players don't play darts because the bar staff would be in danger of injury. I'm out now, club. I sit in the same room as my shadow. And you're all saying hello to each other, which is good to see. Right, so predictions for last week. Right, I haven't got my trusty steed with me, who hasn't been able to put the stuff up for me. So I am going to have to be creative today, and I'm going to have to share it on one screen. Right, so predictions for this week. So game week 18. The first game was Manchester City 1, Everton 1. And the people that only 2 people correctly predicted any form of draw, and they were correct in the draws that they predicted, and that was Kuva and Colin Blackshaw. So well done, you two. And then the only 2 that predicted. And in the second game, it ended up being Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 0. No one had 0-0, but we had Quez with a 1-1, Peter Gagais with a 3-3, Vindaloo with a 2-2, and Richard with a 2-2, which meant they all got a point each. So well done, you guys. Game number 3 ended up being Chelsea 1, Fulham 2. And the correct, surprisingly, Potato Stew got the correct result. So did Tigaro, and so did Vindaloo. And Peter Kagais went for an away win, so picked up another point there. So well done, Peter. The next game ended up a Newcastle 3, Villa 0. Nobody correctly predicted the score for that one, but there were people that went for the home win, and in that case picked up a point. The next game was Forest 1, Tottenham 0, and Finn Rickwood correctly predicted the 1-0 victory. Anyone else that's got an orange beside them predicted a Forest win and therefore pick up a point. And that would be Peter, Kagais, Tigaro, Ronnie, Kuva, and Jesse. Southampton 0, West Ham 1 was the next game, and correctly predicted by Spurs GCTV and Smithy. Both predicted that. They got 3 points. Johnny Bethnal Green, Rob Belcher, Archer, Jesse, Nita, Ryan G, Finn, Nick, Jimmy Talks Football, Colin Blackshaw, Big John, Richard, Gus, Carl, Vindaloo, Ian, Dan, Peter, Top Spurs, and Quez all predicted the West Ham victory, so all got a point. Wolves 2, Manchester United 0 was the next game, and in this one, Mikey Romero got the correct score, and so did Smithy. So they picked up 3 points each for that one. And then you've got Jose, Graham, Rob Belcher, Ed M, David Shear, Kuva, Ryan G, Nick, Destiny 5, Colin Blackshaw, Big John, Paul G, Ronnie, Carl Simpson, Ian Ref and Dan Coyce all predicted a Wolves victory. The next game of the week was Liverpool 3, Leicester 1. And in this, David Shear correctly predicted the 3-1 scoreline, and so did Jimmy Talks Football. And everybody that predicted in this game predicted a Liverpool victory and therefore got a point. The penultimate game played last night was Brighton 0, Brentford 0. And in this game, no one correctly predicted a 0-0, but we had Mikey Romero, Nita, Colin Blackshaw, Richard, Ian Meth, and Queen Ellie, who predicted draws of sorts and got a point each. And in the very next game, Arsenal won 1-0. Shit, I didn't put the score in there. They won 1-0, which meant that everyone that predicted in this game got a point because no one had 1-0. I was waiting to see if they score a second goal, because had they scored a second goal, then it would have just been two people. It would have been Kuva and Paul G that would have picked up 3 points. But as it is, everyone got a point for that game. Bonus game number 1 ended up as Stoke 0, Leeds 2. And the correct predictions for that game came in from yours truly, Mikey Romero, Kuva, Ryan G, Finn Rickwood, Richard, and Dan Coyce, all predicting a 0-2. Everyone else in orange obviously predicted a Leeds victory, but didn't get the correct score, but got a point each. So quite a few people, there's only 4 people that didn't predict the Leeds victory. Predicted either a draw or a home win, and therefore didn't score any points. Then we went on to Wrexham versus Blackburn, which was Blackpool. Wrexham 2, Blackpool 1, and the correct predictions in this game came from Ed M, Jesse, Nita, Finn Rickwood, Nick, Jimmy Talks Football, Big John, Carl Simpson, Vindaloo, Queen Ellie, and Quez. So all these people picked up 3 points for that bonus game. Anyone in orange predicted a home victory and got a point. And then the last bonus game of the weekend was AFC Wimbledon 1, Swindon Town 1. And for this one, the 1-1 draw was picked up by Colin Blackshaw and Big John, Paul G, Peter Kagayas, and Ellie. So last week we had, last week, how many do we have? How many players do we have playing? Last week, low number. There was only 38 players last week. But from the 38 players, we had, from 38 players, 9 players got double points, which means that 25% of the players got 9 points. It's 25% exactly, isn't it? Near enough. 25% got 9 points. The average for last week, I think was, the average for last week was 7.57. So anything 7.57 and above means you're above average. So the scores on the doors last week were: Jose scored 8 points, Johnny Bethnal Green 5 points, Mikey Romero 10 points, Neil 4 points, Spurs CCTV 9 points, Rob Belcher 6, Archer 6, Ed M 9, Jesse 8, Potato Stew 8, Nita 9, David Shear 7, Kuba double figures 12, second in points this week, Ryan G 8, Side Dancer 0, Finn Rickwood Man of the Week 13, Nick 8, Destiny 5 1, Jimmy Talks Football 9, Joint Man of the Week Colin Blackshaw 13, Big John got 11, Richard got 8, Drula 3, Adrian 3, David Clark 5, Paul G 8, Ronnie 6, Gus Parker 3, Carl Simpson 9, Smithy double points 10, Tigaro 9, Vindaloo 10, double points for him, 7 for Ian Meth, 9 for Dan Coys, Peter Gagaias double points 10, Ellie double points 10, Totspur 6, Quez 8. So for the people that played, they would have made some points up. Let me go and have a look at what the chat's saying. Jimmy Talks Football says, good morning, Jimmy. What did he say? Big up, Jose. Yeah. Why did my double vision got 55 points? That's why the lose for me, Jose. I'm on loose still high. Jose, it's too small, mate. There's not much I can do because it was meant to be ready for me, but it wasn't cropped and cut for me this morning. So I've had to go on with it. So I'm missing a point for the Brighton game, predicting a draw. Let me have a look. You might be right. I did do this last night, so let me just check. Kuba, where's Kuba? Kuba, you're right. You are missing a draw. And what I will do, Kuba, I can't amend it now. The Kuba's on 13 points for the week. So I've amended it there. Kuba, I'll amend it here as well. 5, 7, 5. Right, so Kuba, when you have a look at yours has been changed. Doesn't alter your position, but it gives you the extra point. There we go. So I've done that one for you. So you're done there. Let me see. Yes, the right one. Did you not get my scores, Jose? I posted in the comments on the 24th, mate, along with Vindaloo. Let me have a look, sir. Let me have a look. Give me a second. I thought that one means I'm watching myself again live. With Vindaloo, you say, yeah? I saw Vindaloo's ones in there. Where's Vindaloo? Right, just looking at this. These are the comments from the show. So there's a show. You've got mine here. So I put mine in there. Then I've got 2 sides saying hello to me, and I responded back. Then I've got Quez Ali, responded back to him. Then we've got Dan Coys. I've got Queen Ellie's that are there, and then I responded back. These are Vindaloo's, and with the 2 replies are here. Then we've got Daz, and my reply to Daz, and then Queen Ellie appears again. And then I've got Ian Meth, and then I've got Mr. M. They're the only things that are in there. If you check, there's the only things that I've got in there. So, Jimmy, I haven't received them unless you've left them somewhere else. But even if you've left them somewhere else, I would have been notified. And I've not been notified that you've left anything at all, Jimmy. So if you can have a look where you think you might have left them, but normally I get notified and I haven't been notified at all. So I'm not sure. Jimmy says, I'll take 9 points. I hope you feel better. I am feeling better. Looking forward to seeing my grandchildren today. Carlson says, oh, Kuma doesn't mind giving up the point. He isn't competitive. Dan's here, says, big up, mate. I'm at work, so I'll do the predictions on the comments later. No problem at all. Today, we've got 4 bonus games. So just to let you know, we've got 4 bonus games. Going back, have a look. Going back on my history on a notification bell. So I've got Quez, I've got Ian Meth again, Queen Ellie, Tot Spurs, Dan Coys, Vindaloo, two sides, no, Jimmy, I have definitely not received anything from you, mate. I'm really sorry. I can't see anything there at all. I've just looked at all my notifications, which I can share as well, just to show you. And I've got nothing at all. So if you look on the right hand side here, these are my notifications that I received that I'm going up and down with. And so I've got a notification from Mr. M there. I've got one from Quez. And next to it shows you the show they've left them on. I've got Ian Meth again, Queen Ellie Hoiberg, Vindaloo, Tot Spurs, Dan Coys, Vindaloo, and now I'm going way past it. This is 3 days now. I'm going 3 days. There you go. You got Colin says small downs, and that was it. That's the last comment I received. Or Mr. M, sorry. And that's the last comment I received. Anything before that would have been, God, go way down. Right. That says we're going live. Anything before that is like with the six meter the week before, 7 days ago. So I have not received anything from you, Jimmy. I'm really sorry. If I had, I would have put you in, mate, like I do everyone else. So I'm really sorry that I haven't received anything from you. Good morning, Kels. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you had a really good Christmas. I hope you had a nice Christmas and wishing you all the best for 2025. Thank you very much, Kels. Very kind of you. Glad to have you here. Which means that this week, let me close this down for a second. Sweet, yeah. Right, just get ready. Right, so this is all bubbling over completely, not nicely. Right, so for week 19, oh, can I get that changed over? Week 19, yeah, week 19. Right, so for week 19, people, week 19, the first game will be Leicester versus Manchester City, please. I think David Clark's coming first. So any new players that want to play, you're more than welcome to play. Take anybody that wants to play today. But this is the first game of the week. Will be Leicester versus Man City. David Clark's here and playing. Now I've got to find David Clark's name. Rather than typing it all out all over again. Where's David Clark? Mr. Clark is in first. Carl Simpson, David Shear, Johnny Bethnal Green. Oh, Carl Simpson, David Shear. Let me get Carl Simpson up. Where's Carl? Carl Simpson's playing. David Shear's playing. Must be good for you, David, that we've got a time that fits you where you don't have to adjust your sleeping patterns. Mr. Shear, where's Mr. Shear? There's David Shear there. Mr. Shear's playing. Who else we got that's playing? Johnny Bethnal Green and Kuva. Johnny Bethnal Green. Kuva's playing. Who else we got? We got Jimmy Talks Football. He's playing. Jimmy Talks Football is playing, so we put Jimmy in there as well. Good morning, Mr. Kaufman. How are you, sir? I hope you are well. See that he's in the chat. Saying a good morning to everyone. Ronnie's playing, so Ronnie's predicted. Kels, are you predicting? Are you in? Right, so at the moment we've got 16 watching, only 10 people playing. Jimmy Hotspur says that's the link. What's the link? Show me the link. I'm not sure where the link is, Jimmy, or what we were trying to say. Because by showing me that, that's the link. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't either, mate. I don't either. So start with David Clark's gone for a 1-2. Carl Simpson's gone 1-2. David Shear's gone 1-2. Johnny Bethnal Green's gone 1-1. Kuva gone 1-2. Jimmy Talks Football has gone 1-2. Ronnie has gone 1-3. Or 133, 1-3. And Jimmy Hotspur has gone 0-1. Right, let me get Jimmy Hotspur into the chat. Anybody else wanting to take part? Kels, Ben, anybody else that's watching? You're more than welcome to join in. Let me find Jimmy Hotspur's name. There he is. We have Jimmy in there. No, Bopper 73 is Hotspurs. Bopper 73 is Hotspurs, Kuva. Right, so at the moment we have got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. There's 9 of us playing, and there's more than that watching. But if you don't want to play, then that's fine. Right, I've gone for Leicester 0, Man City 4. I've not predicted until now. I'm doing them live because there doesn't seem to be many people here. So there's not much traffic. So next game is Crystal Palace Southampton. Crystal Palace versus Southampton, please, people. As I said, Cooper, I get alerted. I mean, you're aware you've got YouTube as well. You get alerted as soon as people leave a comment or any sort of comment to do with YouTube, or anything that you're that you watch or whatever. You get a notification that comes through, and in my notifications I can see where people have left them and that. And if he had left them, I would have definitely found it. Cooper's gone 2-0 to Palace. Johnny Bethnal Green's gone 3-1 to Palace. David Shear is going for a 1-1 draw. Jimmy Talks Football is 2-0. Carl Simpson 2-1. David Clark 2-0. Ronnie has gone for 3-0. So I'm just waiting on Jimmy's score. And what I've forgotten is I've forgotten to give you the league table. So I'm going to have to roll back and give you the league table. So once I get Jimmy's score, I'll roll back and do the league table. One 0 for Jimmy. Who's that? Who's in the back? Come on stage. I can't see. I think I know it is. What are you doing up at this godforsaken hour, you nutter?
So I woke up and I thought I really forgot to do something, and I was like, "What is it?" And you know what it is. So I wanted to come in and give you my sincerest apologies. I'm not at home. I'm at my mom's.
That's right. No worries.
Okay. I was gonna say I can go ahead and whip those up real quick though and send them in just so that you can show the good people what the scores are.
They were there. Do you want to predict this score first? Crystal Palace, Southampton.
Yeah.
Do you know what I haven't done? I didn't show the guys the league table. I've forgotten all about the league table, so I haven't shown them that yet. I did the scores, and I've just realised now. Oh my god, I didn't do the league table.
Well, I haven't seen you those pictures, so I'm gonna get that done real quick. But yeah.
Okay, give us the score for this Crystal Palace, Southampton.
Let's go 2-0, please.
And you missed the first game, Leicester Man City.
Oh, let's go 0-2.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna get that whipped up.
Yeah, if you do that, then I can show them it, because someone said, I think David Shear was telling me it was too small to see the way that I had it up. So yeah, if you do that now in the background, then we'll show them to the people once it's done. Thank you very much. Crystal Palace for me against Southampton. I'm going to go for a 3-0 to Crystal Palace. Right. Whilst you're doing that, I'll move on to the next game, and then once it's ready, we'll bring it up. Right. Everton versus Nottingham Forest, please, people. You can take your camera off if you're doing that, because all we can see is you in the dark.
Hair everywhere. All right.
You've got quite a bit of hair, it looks like there. You've done well. You've grown it a bit.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been working on it.
Yeah. Right, Everton versus Nottingham Forest. People coming in. So Ronnie's the first one in with that one. Ronnie's going 1-0. David Shear's 1-2. Carl Simpson's 1-2. David Clark 1-1. It was too small to see the way I had it up. It's our age, mate. Don't worry about it. Now we'll bring it up. I'll bring it up again. We'll take a break, and once it's up, we'll do it. Mikey Romero. Good morning, Mikey. It's an early one for you as well, mate. I'm going to come back and we're going to redo the scores. I'm going to quickly show them again. But for you, Mikey, we'll start here at 1-2. Who else we got? We've got Jimmy Talks Football had at 1-3. Johnny Bethnal Green is saying 2-1, I believe. Kuba is going 0-0. Who am I missing? Jimmy Hotspur. Is Jimmy giving me a score? Yeah, 1-0 for Jimmy. Colin, do you have a score for Everton versus Nottingham Forest?
I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. Cheers. 1-1 for Colin. I'm going to go Everton 2, Forest 0. Everton 2, Forest 0 for me. Mikey, for you, Leicester versus Man City, I think you're saying 0-2. Is that right? And then you're missing Crystal Palace versus Southampton, Mikey. So, Mikey, give me Crystal Palace, Southampton, and then I've got you. I think you've gone for Leicester 0, City 2. And then I just need Crystal Palace versus Southampton, please. I don't know, Mike, you've gone back to sleep. 2-1. Right. What we'll do then is until Cole's done that, we'll move on to the next one. And the next game is Fulham versus Bournemouth, please, people. Fulham v Bournemouth.
All right, Jose, I've got the table put in. Do you want me to put in everyone's actual, like, individual guesses too?
Yeah, if you could, yeah, because
the
people were saying that they couldn't see it, or
Yeah.
David Shear was telling me it was too small. Cooper's gone for 2-1. It'll be like an interlude because I've shown the results already, but I can do them again.
Perfect. Thanks again.
2-0 for Ronnie. Jimmy Talks Football is 2-1. Carl Simpson's 2-1. David Shear 2-1. Got this 2-1. Getting traction. David Clark's gone for a 1-1 draw. Mr. Clark broke the mould. Mikey Romero is 2-2. Daigle. Johnny Bethnal Green 1-2. So I'm missing Jimmy Hotspur at the moment.
Alrighty, boss. Well, hey, they're all put in there.
Okay, Fulham Bournemouth for you.
I'm gonna go 2-1.
2-1.
And then
Colin.
And then I think I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'll get the rest of these into you. And
okay,
right. Awesome.
Go back to sleep. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, though.
Nice to see you guys.
I need to see more of you, so be good. Enjoy. Thank you very much, Carl.
Have a good one, everybody.
Okay, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jimmy Hotspur, just waiting on you, sir.
No bananas?
On the screen for Monday, my scores show in the comments section, in the newest section. So do you know what I'm doing wrong? I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Jimmy. I remember you doing something before previously, and I'd not received them. And then I told you where to go, and I said to you, just send me a message saying test or whatever it was, and you did that. And then I verified with you that's come through, and then I said to you, where you've done that, then leave them there again, because then I'll be able to see them. And you didn't leave them after that, so I'm not sure what it is you're doing, but yeah, there's no other way. The only way you can do it is by leaving them on the stream, but they're not appearing. But that one message that you sent me a while ago did appear after I told you what to do, but then you didn't leave them thereafter. Right, Fulham versus Bournemouth. I'm going for Fulham 2, Bournemouth 0. Right, so now that Colin's popped in and done his magic, I'm going to share with you the scores, because some of you said you couldn't see them. So we're going to take a break. So this is the guesses that you guys did, which now means I'm going to have to take my Cockerel off. If I do that. So they're the guesses again that you guys did. So like I said, the first game, Kuva and Colin Blackshaw correctly predicted, were the only two people that predicted the Man City 1-1 draw. Bournemouth Crystal Palace, like I said, Richard predicted a draw. It was a 0-0, but predicted a draw. Vindaloo, Peter Geiss, Queen Ellie, and Quez Ali all got a point. Chelsea 1, Fulham 2, correctly predicted by Potato Stew, Tigaro, and Vindaloo. Newcastle 3, Villa 0. Nobody got the correct prediction, but you had a few oranges there. Nottingham Forest Tottenham, correctly predicted by Finn. And then apart from that, you had 5 others that predicted a home win. They got a point each. Southampton West Ham was 0-1, correctly predicted by Graham, Spurs CCTV, and by Lee Smithy Smith. Everybody else got an orange. Wolves Man United ended up being 2-0, correctly predicted by Mikey Romero and by Lee Smithy Smith. Anybody else that got an orange? Liverpool 3, Leicester 1 was correctly predicted by David Shear and Jimmy Talks Football. Everybody else that predicted that game got a point, because everyone had Liverpool to win. Brighton 0, Brentford 0. There were a few people. There's 4 there on that screen there. 6 people predicted draws, but none of them 0-0. So got a point each. Arsenal 1, Ipswich 0. Everybody got 1 point that predicted. So apart from Side Dancer and Destiny 5, who didn't predict them games, everybody else that predicted got a point. but no one had 1-0. Stoke v Leeds, which was the first bonus game, was 0-2. And that was correctly predicted by yours truly, Mikey Romero, Kuva, Ryan G, Finn Rickwood, Richard, and Dan Coys. Kuva, it doesn't show there, but I've amended your score for the Brighton Brentford. It's obviously not on this, but I've amended it on the other sheets. Wrexham 2, Blackpool 1 was correctly predicted by Edem, Jesse, Nita, Finn, Nick, Jimmy Talks Football, Big John, Carl Simpson, Vindaloo, Queen Ellie, and Quezali. So all got 3 points. Anyone in orange got a point. And the last game was Wimbledon 1, Swindon Town 1. Orange got a point for predicting a draw, but the correct score line was predicted by Colin Blackshaw, Big John, Paul G, and Peter Geiss and Queen Ellie. So it means that the scores are all there, apart from Kuba. It's changed. Kuba's got 13 points rather than 12. Johnny, you can see them, can you? Right, Johnny can see them. Right, bear with me a second. Right, it's not going to, Jimmy, I can't affect the league table now, but I'm going to add what he's just sent to me, right, in order, right? So, Jimmy, it says you did 2-1 for the first game. Right. 1-1 for the second game. 2-1 for the third and fourth games. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue where these have appeared from, but they are here. It says 3 days ago. I don't know how I'm not seeing them, because normally I get a message telling me when people leave a comment, and I'm not receiving yours, Jimmy, or I've only ever received one comment. 0-1, 2-1, 3-0, 1-1. 3-1. 1-1. 2-0. And 1-0. Right, so Jimmy, that will put you on. Bear with me a second, mate. So first game 2-1 was a 1-1 draw, so no points there. A 1-1 draw in the second game gets you a point, so that's an orange. 2-1 in the third game doesn't score you a point. 2-1 in the fourth game scores you a point. Then you've gone 3-2 Nottingham Forest Tottenham. That gets you another point. What Southampton West Ham gets you a green because you correctly predicted that. So that gets you 3 points. Oops, what's that? Then you've got 2-1 for Wolves Man United. That gets you another point. and you've got 3-0 Liverpool-Leicester, that scores you another point. Then you had a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Brentford, that scores you a point. Arsenal 3-1, that scores you a point. A 1-1 draw for Stoke Leeds, no points. Wrexham Blackburn 2-0, scores you another point. And the 1-0, okay, so in that case, he's got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 points for Jimmy. Right, Jimmy, I'm going to save you there on 11 points. Bear in mind, I can't change what I've got here at the moment. So, so Jimmy Hotspur, that would be 1-1-8. Bear with me a second, Jimmy. Need to find Jimmy. Where's Jimmy? Jimmy is 1. And 8 is 34. And 11 gets you. Right, Jimmy, you are on 50 points, which moves you up in the table. So you're from 62nd, you've gone to 56. Let me just change this one. Right, Jimmy, I've done it. Although I've now done it, I cannot change the sheets that I'm going to show, but I have changed it. You're sitting in 56th rather than 62nd, Jimmy. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, mate. Thank you very much, Johnny, for finding it. I haven't got a clue why it's there. It's not appearing, because even though you're saying it's appeared, you guys are now saying it's appeared. I've not received a notification for it, so I can't understand why I'm not receiving notifications. But anyway, I've done it now. You're in, mate. I've amended you, which now means the league table looks like this. Bear with me a second, people. So the league table now looks like this. I have to go jumping around. Back to this one. Is it this one? No. Is it this one? Yeah. Yeah. Right. So the league table hasn't been affected up until 85th place. But we have a mover. And the mover is Archer. Archer's gone into 77th place. Because if you're green, you've moved. And if you're blue, it's your first week. There was no new first week players last week. So Archer's gone into 77th. Jimmy, you currently show 62nd. You scored 11 points. So your 4 is now 5. Your 26 becomes 34. And your 39 becomes 50. So you're no longer in 62nd. You're actually in 56th. Because obviously Mark Cousins is on the same amount of points, but Mark Cousins has got more correct scores than you. So, Jimmy, you're now in 56th, although I can't update the table there. But the movers on here, Jesse has gone into 46th. Potato Stew has gone into 41st. Vindaloo has jumped into 38th place. Richard has gone into 36th. Finn has gone into 35th. Ellie becomes the newest member of the 100 Club and is in 34th. So we now have 34 players in the 100 Club. Bobby K didn't play last week, or didn't predict any predictions last week. Side Dancer only predicted 1 game only. Chan didn't predict last week. And neither did Nigel Purecois. All these people that didn't predict last week could have gone past the 100 mark as well. So we could have a lot more than 34. However, if you don't play, then you're not going to score points. In 32nd, you have Gus Parker. Nita's jumped into 31st. And at the top of the tables, Jimmy Talks Football into 26th. Peter Kagaias into 24th. Tigaro into 22nd. Smithy up to 19th. Edem up to 18th. Mikey Romero up to 14th. Colin Blackshaw to 13th. Big John into 12th. David Clark has gone into 9th. Ryan G up to 5th. Kuva, you've got yours now reads 20, 115 and 175. Kuva's gone into 3rd place. And Dan Coys is leading at the top from Graham by 3 points. That is your league table. As I said, Kuva, I've amended it on my new sheet, so you've got an extra point. And Jimmy Hotspur, I've changed you on my new sheet as well. Screw you, Kuva, taking my 3rd place, says Carl. Right, so that's the league table. So hopefully everybody was able to see the league table correctly this time round. Right, so well done to everyone that's moved and shaped and gone around. Glad we found your results, Jimmy. Hopefully, if they're left in the future on the stream, I'll be able to see them without no fear or danger. Because I showed you, and mine are still not showing. Where did you leave them? Right, if I do that sort by newest, it comes up. If I do top comments, it doesn't come up. But the issue that I've got with that is that, or the issue that I have at the moment, Jimmy, is that with regards, the concern that I've got is I'm not receiving a notification that you've left results. I normally receive notifications. I receive notifications from absolutely everyone. Just you, I haven't received it from. David Shear wants to change the Palace score to 2-0. Paul G has just joined. Paul G. Let me add you, Paul G. Paul G. Where's Paul G? The more the merrier. Let's get Paul G into the show. Right. Paul G into the show. Anybody else that's here watching that wants to play, you're more than welcome to do so. Yes, David Shear, I've changed it. No, we're doing the predictions now, Paul. But just to show you, just that you're here, the predictions for last week, Paul, you are... Where's Paul G? Did you do predictions last week? Yeah, Paul G, you're down the bottom there, mate. You got 8 points last week, Paul. 8 points you scored last week. You got 1 correct prediction and five oranges. So you scored 8 points, Paul. And in the table, Paul, I think you're in the top half, aren't you? Paul, you're 16th. Got 8 points and you're 16th. So with that being said, that's up to date with everybody. So for Paul G, this is for Paul G only, just so you can catch up, because we've only done 4 games. But for Paul G, can you give me Leicester versus Man City, please, Paul? Anybody that's wishing to take part, this is the first game of the week. So if you want to play, get them in there. So Paul G, and for anyone else that's new and not predicted at the moment, this is where you can start. New players are welcome to play. Right, Paul G's going for a 0-2. Okay, so it's Paul G. Nobody else is saying anything, so I'm not sure that anyone else wants to play. Next game, Paul. Crystal Palace versus Southampton, please. Paul Jesus 2-1. The next game that we've got for you, Paul, is Everton versus Nottingham Forest, please, mate. At 1-1 for Paul G. Right, and to catch up, the last game that we predicted on was Fulham Bournemouth. Please, Paul. Is that 2-1? Yeah, 2-1. Kuva is joint player of the week and is a fantastic player. There we go. Acknowledged Coos. Right, everybody. We are back in line. It's now Tottenham versus Wolves. We're back on track in the sense that we've caught up. Everybody's caught up. Paul Carl Simpson's first in. Carl Simpson's going for Tottenham 1-2. Carl Simpson's going for a 1-2. 1-2, 3. 1-2. Paul G's going 2-0. Kuba's going for a 2-2 draw. Johnny Bethnal Green 2-0. Jimmy Hotspur 1-2. Jimmy talked football 2-1. David Shia 3-1. Ronnie 1-3. David Clark 3-2. And Mikey R did put something in there, 2-0. Right, and Jose is going for a 3-0 win. And I think everybody has predicted. Carl Simpson says that Whiteman and Austin will be the centre-backs tomorrow. I've got a feeling, right, and it's only a feeling, right, is that the only 4 fit defenders that we've got, if you want to call them defenders, right, the only fit 4 that we've got are Porro, Gray, Udogie, Reguilón. They're the 4 fit defenders we've got. So do you play them 4 as your back 4? So that would be putting the doggy in at left, at the left centre half position. Because the one thing that you'll get is if you pick them 4 players, they ain't going to be playing high lines, are they? Not with them 4, they won't. Or you got them 4 and you've got Dorrington without the need, and then you make a choice whether to bring Dorrington in without the need to use bloody Basuma at the back, or Pap Sarr at the back, or Bentancur at the back. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that they've got, well, Wolves have got a lot of things, but the one thing that they've got is they've got Strand Larson up front, who you put the ball up in the air to him, he's going to win quite a few in the air, isn't he? So, but yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. David Shear says, I hear Grant Packham has signed up, Jose. He's signed for who? He ain't signed for Tottenham. Shit. Graham Basuma at centre half defeat incoming, says Ronnie. Carl says, can we not wheel Dawson and King out? Ronnie says, rumour is Biss is going to play with Gray. Johnny Bethnal Green says, I can't stand the doggy as a player. Not my cup of tea. He plays lazy. Cooper says, we could play the Chuckle Brothers despite one of them being dead. Jimmy Talks Football says, if Biss plays centre-back, we are in trouble. Carson says, if Biss plays centre-back, red card is coming. Jimmy Hospital says, why not recall Phillips and play Dorrington? You can't recall Phillips. I don't know whether, with Phillips, I don't know whether Phillips has got a break clause or whether he's out on a season-long loan and with no break clause. If there's no break clause, you can't bring him back under no circumstances. Dorrington, the only thing about Dorrington is Dorrington wasn't a sub last week. He was for the game before that, but he wasn't a sub last week. And I was thinking to myself, has Dorrington got injured again? Or was it that they wanted him to have more game time and put him back in the 21s? And I'm not sure. If Dorrington's fit and available, I would play Dorrington because he's a natural centre half. But the thing with Dorrington is Dorrington would not be fit enough, I don't think, to play a 90-minute match in the first team. I think with all the injuries he's had and that and the comebacks, you probably get a half, maybe 60 minutes out of Dorrington, and then you still need to make up a change there anyway. So, but we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Everything will become apparent tomorrow. The next game for everybody now is West Ham versus Liverpool. It's not about whether he's injured or not, Jimmy. Drula, it's her birthday. Yay! Happy birthday, Drula. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Drula. Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip. Hooray. Hip, hip. Hooray. Hip, hip. Hooray. There you go, Drula. All for you on this Saturday morning. Many, many happy returns, Drula. So Drula's coming with a 1-3. I could go back to Drula's scores in a second. David Shear is coming with a 1-3. Carl Simpson is also coming with a 1-3. Johnny Bethnal Green says, mind you, I keep seeing Perryman at the ground. Give him a chance. Jimmy Hotspur says 1-3. Who else have we got? Drula said 1-3. I've got hers. 1-2 for Kuva. Happy birthday to Drula from Paul G. Jimmy Talks Football says 1-3. Mikey Romero says 0-2. And then we've got happy birthday to Drula from a few people. Paul G says 03. Irons 1, the Scouse 3 for Johnny Bethnal Green. David Clark is 03. Ronnie says 1, 2. So that just leaves me then, doesn't it? I'm going to go for West Ham 0, Liverpool 3. I don't think West Ham score against Liverpool. I think West Ham are shocking. Shocking. Just because it's Drula and it's her birthday, she's allowed to. Drula, give us the score for Leicester Man City. Let's go back to the first game for Drula. Leicester Man City. Remember, people, there are 4 bonus games this week. I've got 4 for us. I've got some spicy ones. Oh, look at that. 1-3. Drula, don't hang about. 1-3. A 2-1. A 1-2. A 2-1. And a 3-2. So the numbers are growing. Right. Drula's more on the ball than Saar. Yeah. Right. The next game that we go to then, people, we're up to date now, is Aston Villa versus Brighton, please. Villa versus Brighton. Oh, Drula's in first again. Drula's in 2-1. 2-0 with Jimmy. 1-1 for Ronnie. 2-1 for Paul G. A 2-1 for Jimmy Talks. 2-1 for Carl. He's an old rogue, isn't he, old Shear? He's an old rogue. Look at that. He knows he's got a way with words, Mr. Shear. Three 1 with Johnny. 2-0 for Mr. Shear. 2-1 for Kuba. And a 2-0 for Mr. Clark. Villa Brighton. Villa Brighton. Right, what am I going to go for Villa Brighton? Villa Brighton. I'm going to go Villa Brighton. Oh, it's a tough one. Villa Brighton. What am I going to go for? John Duran, so that means Wally Watkins coming back in. Right. My trusted steed says Villa 2, Brighton 0. Villa 2, Brighton 0. Right. Moving on to the next game. The next game is between Ipswich versus Chelsea. Ipswich versus Chelsea, please, people. There we go. Do you think it was a red card for Duran? Yeah, all day long. He stamped on him twice. Didn't do it the once. He just went twice. So all day long for me. All day long. Kuba is going 1-3. Kuba starting us off with a 1-3. David Shear says 1-3. Kuna says 1-3. God, it's 1-3's bloody one. Jimmy Talks 1-3. Johnny BG 1-4. Jimmy Hotspur 0-2. David Clark 0-2. Paul G 0-3. Have I missed anyone? Mikey Romero, yeah, I missed you. 1-4. Looking for Ronnie and Carl. Did they Ronnie? Carl Simpson says 1-3. Right, so am I missing? I've got Ronnie. Ronnie's 1-5. Oh, Ronnie can see goals. Right, Ipswich versus Chelsea. I don't think Ipswich will score. I watched them last night against Arsenal and all they did was defend. I hate to see it, but how many Chelsea will score? I'm going to go for 0-4. Chelsea are coming off a bad result against Fulham. They're away, but I just think that they'll have too much for Ipswich, to be honest. I think the 3 that came up and the 3 going down. Dan Coy's coming in with 0-3. For this one. Ipswich will score 3 now, says Carl. Yeah, Daniel, fire him in as you're going along, mate. Carl Simpson says, sorry, Daniel, because Jose said if you weren't here from the start of the game, you is void. Paul G says, so you'll think we're just about to survive relegation then, Jose. I don't care how bad teams are or how bad we get. I just think the bottom 3 are completely doomed. I've watched them. And I just, for me, it's just so light because I don't know what Daniel was doing. For me, it's just so light. Leicester, Man City, Daniel. They're so light that I think they've got really good players. I think the Lap's a really good striker. He's worth a punt, I think, in my eyes. Worth looking at. I'd pay the 25 million for someone like him to come in and be at Tottenham if we get rid of Richarlison. I then look at I think Amari Hutchinson's a good player, but lightweight. a very good player, but lightweight. I'm just flashing these up and down as we're talking. But lightweight, I just find that Ipswich are light. You know, they haven't got oomph. No, I just find that they're very light. Leicester, I thought Leicester would have done more than what they actually do. They've got an aging Vardy. Daka hardly gets a game for them. They got IU, and I'm looking at their team and I just think to myself, you know, at best they are a championship team, aren't they, Leicester? I mean, they've got Winks in midfield, and I'm not going to knock Winks because I think Winks has done really well since he's gone to Leicester, and I think Winks is a Premiership player, and I think Winks could get another team. He could get another team to purchase him in the Premiership, and I think he'll do a job for him. But then I look at the rest of the team and I just think, in defence, I think they're shockingly poor. Vestergaard, I think he's useless. Coley is a Championship level player. I just think that, and that's from Southampton. Southampton, I think, are poorer. I think Southampton are a poorer team now than when they went down. When they went down, I feel they had a stronger team, and that's when they went down. I just don't think they've got the team to come back up with. So I think the three there are doomed. I think Victor Pereira coming in at Wolves, it's just, it's a saving grace that you've got three really bad teams. Wolves won't go down now because there are three really poor teams in the Premiership. And in all honesty, I don't know how many more points. What are we now, week 19? So this will be the halfway point this weekend. I'll be surprised if any of the bottom three teams pick up any more than 10 points each for the remainder of the season. I think this was their chance in the first half. I think the second half they're going to get found out. Dan, Everton Forest, or have you gone back to from your break? I don't know. I'm going to jump. David Clark says Skip has been an absolute disaster since he's been at Leicester City. Yeah, it seems to be they rotate between Skip and Winksy, but I actually think Winks has done well. I really do. I think he's done well at Leicester, and I think he's a good player. And I think he can get himself another move somewhere else. Fulham Bournemouth, please, Dan. Carl Simpson says they've all got to play us at 3 points. When you say 3 points, do you mean out of all 3 games against these bottom 3, we're only going to get 3 points? Is that what you're saying? So what would be? We'll be at home to Southampton. We'll be at home to Leicester, and we'll be away to Ipswich when we end up playing them. That is. Jimmy Hotspur says Winks would be good for Everton, in my opinion. I think Winks is a good player. I think Winks is a Premiership player. I don't think he's a Championship player. I think he's a Premiership player. Put him in the right team. I mean, to be honest, if you look at our midfielders that we've got at Tottenham Hotspur, we could have done with a Winks playing at Tottenham now. My eyes, Winks playing in that deeper line role, he'd protect your defenders, wouldn't he? He'd protect your defenders, and he can move the ball on that. He's a good passer of the ball, you know, and he's got an engine on him, Winks. I mean, people are going to shoot me for this, but I'd much rather have Winks playing in my team than fucking Basuma. I think Basuma's a waste of space and has been ever since he came to the club. And that's some going. We've nearly caught up. Daniel is now on Tottenham Wolves. Daniel. Carl Simpson says Skip has proven he's a Championship player, and I reckon Winks could do a job at Palace or actually the slow football in Italy. Yeah, I think Winks is a good player. I think you got a hard rap at Tottenham from some of the sort of fan base, but I think Winks is a good footballer. I really do, and I think he's a lot higher quality. He's a lot higher quality than a Championship player. Much higher quality. No, they haven't. Winks was injured for a couple of games. That's why Skip got a game time. But his ability is so limited, it's scary. If we have a bad week, I can excuse the excuse. I was doing them during my work break. Yeah, excuses. Next one is West Ham Liverpool, please, Dan. Can I change my Spurs one to 3-1, Jose? Yes, of course you can, Drewler. From 3-2 to 3-1. Cooper says we're so bad right now that Jose is bigging up Winks. In fact, we're so bad. I'm agreeing with him. I know. I think he got a bad rap when he played for us anyway. I just think he got a bad rap from a lot of people. That's all. David Shear says same Basuma and a doggy having poor years. Coincidence. A doggy's got time to learn, David. For me, right? A doggy's got time to learn, right? Because he's still young. Basuma, you can't teach him how to play football now. If he doesn't know how to play the game now, then he'll never ever know how to play the game. Simple. And we've had him, and he's been shit since the day we bought him. In my eyes, Basuma, absolute waste of space and a waste of time since we bought him. And like I said, and I've said many a time, the people from the Brighton boys that I play with, they were like, you know, if you get the Basuma that we had, and he's got no baggage, because Brighton believed that he had baggage with him then as well. And if he's got no baggage, you're getting a decent player. But I'm afraid that we bought what we bought from Brighton. We bought a player that's got a load of baggage, and he has. He's more interested in his Instagram following and, you know, what kind of clothes he wears, being a DJ, being a dancer, taking a hippie crack. And there's a lot of things that he'd rather be doing. I mean, he's young, he's got lots of money, you know, and it's down to him how he chooses to spend his money and chooses how to spend his free time. But there are some people that immerse themselves in being a professional and an athlete in what they do. And there are some people that want to, you know, party. So you look at someone like Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt was devout to what he was doing until he retired. And after he retired, you know, he can go out partying, he can do all the stuff that he's doing now. But he wasn't doing that when he was, you know, in his pomp and he was training for events and stuff like that. You know, the lifetime of a footballer is really short. If you look at it, if you're going to be a top player, you may get 15 years out of it. But 15 years, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it ain't a long time, is it? And all he has to do is, you know, be true to himself for 15 years, and you could get more out of him, but, you know, he chose not to. Dan, Aston Villa, Brighton, and we've caught up with you, mate. I don't know what you're doing because you're stuck on this one. It says, mind you, I'm not a big fan of many of our players, probably like 4 or 5 in our squad of 25. So Johnny Murphy. Liverpool's first goal was down to poor Winks defending, not even knowing that the Liverpool striker only had a right foot, but allowed him to go on his right foot to shoot and score. Cooper says, Winks had to move from us. He never recovered from an injury setback. His confidence looks shot. This rather be a model instead of a footballer, says Jimmy Talks Football. Carson says Denny and Biss are the same player to occupied with the dodgy side of fame. Dave, of course, says any chance of Leeds are a bonus game this weekend, Jose, mate, as they've saved the last 2 weeks now, getting the lead score right, mate. Jimmy also says 15 years at 50k a week ain't bad though. No, it's not. This is the Spurs what Steven Seagal is the action movies nowadays. Right, Dan, I'm going to move on. Aston Villa, Brighton, mate, because I need to catch up with everyone else. Aston Villa, Brighton for you, Dan. You're the only one that's missing on this score, and then I can move on with everyone in tandem. 2-1. Cheers, Dan. Right, so we move on to the next game, which is an interesting one. We move on to Man United versus Newcastle. Please, people. Everyone's back in. Man United versus Newcastle. Oh, who's coming there? Tottenham Hotspur is going 1-2 for this one. Jimmy H. 1-2. Kuba 0-2. Drula 1-2. David Shear's going 1-3. Oh, look at this. Look at these scores that are coming in. Johnny Bethnal Green 2-all. 1-2 Amarin out for Carl Simpson. When he has his clear out, Amarin, the two players that I'd like from Man United, that I would buy from Man United personally, won't be sold. They'll be kept, and for good reason. I like the look of Ahmad and I like the look of Yoro, but they won't be sold. David Clark's gone 1-2, so I'm missing Mikey Romero and Paul G. Paul G's gone 0-2. Did Mikey R give me a score and I haven't seen it? No, Mikey R's missing at the moment. David Clark says, today's players are just plain lazy. Even though I only played parts football as a winger, I knew the weaknesses of my up-and-coming opponents. Today's players don't even know who they are up against. I cannot believe I've already heard United fans saying Amarin out already, says Carl Simpson. Good morning, Lord Rodney. Are you playing? Are you partaking? Says Lee Gunner, extra doubly quadruply fuming fan cam if they lost to Ipswich. Mikey Romero's coming 1-3. You watch Filth Rodders. Have a word, geezer. Don't dare say Trashford as his English version of two. No, Dan, the two players that I would purchase from Man United if I had the chance would be Yoro and Ahmad. But I've got a feeling that Yoro and Ahmad will be in Amarin's plans going forward, because to me they're two youngsters, but they're two decent footballers, and they both try. You know, they both got a semblance of oomph about them, and they try. And I don't think that they're bad players either, but I think they will keep them. My career says, sorry, my son woke up, caused chaos. No worries whatsoever. Right, I'm going for tricky one. This one, because I can go either way on this score. They got no Bruno Fernandes either, have they? And it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see how Man United play without the Rat, because the Rat, is he a good influence or a bad influence on Man United? I've previously said that with the Rat, I think he's not a good leader as a captain. I just think he just does all the wrong things. Rinketic, start now. Man United, Newcastle, sir. And then I'll roll back for you after Rinketic. I think that it remains to be seen, because Bruno plays all the time, doesn't he? So I just want to see what Man United are like without him. Which kind of, with him, you'd like to think that with him, Man United would probably get a result with him. But what would they do without him? And that's the problem I've got. Right, for Lord Rodney and Rinketic, I will go back afterwards and roll back. But for now, we'll carry on. But I will roll back Rinketic and Lord Rodney have both entered at the same time, which makes it easier for me when I cut back. I've got to give her a score for this one. Right, I'm going to go for Man United 2, Newcastle 1. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go 2-1. Right, the next game we've got is Brentford versus Arsenal. Carl Simpson says, Fernandes is a dreadful captain who has got I am better than Ronaldo complex in his head. And Rodney says, I reckon Castle will slap them. David Clark's come in with a 2-1 for Brentford Arsenal. Two for Cuba. Rinketic is coming with a 1-2. Drula 2-1. Drula. David Shear's gone for a Daigle. Carl Simpson 1-2. Jimmy Hotspur 0-1. Lord Rodney 1-2. Mikey Romero 0-2. Ronnie's 2-1. Paul G 0-2. Johnny Bethnal Green 1-3. Jimmy Talks Football 2-1. Daniel Coy 0-2. I'm going for, right, for me, I watched Brentford last night and they've got more injuries than, they've got more injuries from last night's game. And I just think Arsenal looked, Martinelli out on the right don't look effective at all, does he? I wouldn't play Martinelli. I'd play that youngster Namweri, or I'd play Trossard on the other side. I wouldn't play him. I just think they look powder puff without Saka. But I think that they'll have more than enough to deal with Brentford. And I think Brentford are brilliant. Brentford are really good at home. But I just feel that with their injuries creeping up on them, I think they're in for a torrid time against Arsenal. So I'm going to go Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. Right, so the first of the bonus games this week, there's 4, is Derby Leeds. Derby Leeds is the first bonus game of the week. And for people will need to okay, Daniel, you're cool, but Derby Leeds is the first one. With regards, oops, where are we going? Jimmy Hotspur's coming first there. Derby Leeds is the first predict. Right, Derby Leeds is the first one. So Jimmy Hotspur's coming with a 1-2. Johnny Bethnal Green is 1-2. David Shear 1-2. Oh, look at these 1-2s. Carl Simpson 1-3. Trula 1-2. Jimmy Talks Football 0-2. Mikey Romero 0-1. 0-1 Mikey. Paul G 1-2. Paul G 1-2. Ronnie 0-2. One 3 for David Clark. 1-2 for Rinketic. Rinketic likes his 1-2s. Lord Rodney 0-3. Dan Coy's Kuva. I'm missing Kuva as well. Lord Rodney says, pro tip, if you're actually happy about your team, but you want to act like you're pissed off, just get hammered. If you're drunk, you can get annoyed about anything. Here we go. Look who's here. Spurs GCTV. Hope you all had a good Christmas and are feeling better. And I will put my predictions in the chat if that's okay. It's up to you, Graham. I'm happy to roll back because Rinketic and Lord Rodney have only just joined as well. So I'm happy to roll back if you want to start from here. Derby Leeds. You're more than welcome to start from there, Graham. I'm happy to go back. Yeah, if you post, then I will pick you up from here. It's your call, mate. But I am happy to start from here. Kuba is going for a 0-2. Kuba is going for a 0-2. Kuba, I'm kind of with you, but I'm going to go 0-3. I just think Leeds are on the march, mate, isn't they? So, right, so we'll stop there for a second because Graham has joined us and so has Lord Rodney and Rinketic. And just go to last week's scores. Let me just take off the banner for a second. Right, so Rinketic and Lord Rodney, Rinketic and Spurs GCTV played last week. Graham, you scored last week 9 points, mate. You scored 9 points last week. And Rinketic, did you play last week, Rinketic? I'm not sure whether you did. Did you play before Christmas? Let me see. No, Rinketic, you didn't play before Christmas. And Lord Rodney didn't play before Christmas either. So, with that being said, just want to make sure. No, you didn't play. Right. So, the league table is as such. Let me see if I can find you guys. Rinketic and Lord Rodney. Lord Rodney, you are 67th at the moment, sir. Rinketic, you are 65th. And Graham, you are second. You are 3 points behind Dan Coy's. Cougar actually has a point more. He's on 175. So just to make that clear. But you are currently in second place, Graham. 3 points behind Dan for last week. Rinketic says, just put 1-2 on everything, please. It's not cricket, mate. It's not cricket when you do stuff like that. Johnny Bethel Greece says, FFS, Graham, you late. Even I got up early, lol. Hope your busy week is game sweet, geezer. Right. Next game is the second bonus game is Orient versus Cambridge. the Orient versus Cambridge. Oh, 0-0 for Ronnie. Ronnie's coming in with a 0-0. Interesting, because Jamie Donnelly's been playing really well for this mob. 0-0 for Ronnie. They have strung a few results lately that have catapulted them up the league. 0-0 for Ronnie. 3-0 for Johnny Bethnal Green. And that's the score that I went for. I went for 3-0 as well. Lord Rodney says 2-all. Mikey Romero says 2-1. Drilla says 1-all. Drilla says 1-all. Orient. Riketic's gone for 3-0 as well. Carl Simpson's going 2-1. Who else we got? Kuva says 2-0. Daniel Coy says there's levels to this. Paul G says Orient flying at the moment to 2-0. 2-0 Paul G. They're more than flying. 2-0. David Shear says 2-1 by default. Mr. M's here. Mr. M, do you want to play? You can start from now. Orient versus Cambridge. I'll roll back for you as well, sir, because there's 4 people that have joined late, and I can roll back for all 4 of you. 2-0 for Graham. We have got a 1-0 for Jimmy Hotspur. We have a 2-1 for Jimmy Talks. We have a 2-1 for Mr. Clark. And then we have Mr. M coming in with I saw Mr. M scoring 2-0, Mr. M. Mr. M, I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. Wenger out, so Wenger out. Mr. M, 2-0. And Bruna says that she's changed her mind to 2-0. Right, so that's everyone's predictions in. Yeah, Wenger out. Merry Christmas, Mr. M. Right, the third of the 4th bonus games is Napoli versus Venezia. Napoli versus Venezia. Napoli versus Venezia. We have some scores coming in. Right, where are we now? Let's start having a look. What we've got Paul G at 2-1 straight away, coming in at 2-1. Johnny Bethnal Green says 2-0. JBG says 2-0. It's a good job that you've changed your scores, Rinketic, because you said 1-2 all the way, but you know you've changed them. We have Mr. M at 3-1. Then you're Mr. Wenger out at 3-1. Mikey Romero's also at 3-1. We have Carl at 3-1. Carl, people have got 3-1s galore here. 3-1 for Carl. A 2-1 for Drula. And for those of you who didn't know, it's Drula's birthday today. Please say happy birthday to Drula. I've already sung it. 3-0 for David Shear. 3-1 with Jimmy Talks. Wenger out. This is not really trying to. 3-0 with Ronnie. 2-0 for Jimmy. 3-0 for Coobs.
No, I'm not going on my own. Unless they go next year, I don't know. I told them to let me know.
3-0 to Kuba. 2-0 for Lord Rodney. 2-0 for Rodney. 3-1 for Graham. Ricketti's gone 3-0. Smash the likes, please, says David Shea. You're correct on that, mate. Smash the likes. Graham says, I hope everyone is well and had a great Christmas. Mr. M saying happy birthday to our Drula. It's funny because it's just come up on my timeline just now. Right, so have I got everybody? I have, and I'm going to go for Napoli 3-0 win against Venezia. Right, the last of the bonus games for this week, the fourth one and last one, is a tasty one. I give you Sporting Lisboa versus Sporting Club Benfica. So this is first versus second. Sporting versus Benfica. It's second versus first. Because Sporting are currently second to Benfica by a point. So Sporting versus Benfica. Just to help you guys out, Benfica have scored 37 goals and conceded 8. And have lost once this season. That's Benfica. And Sporting have scored 43 and conceded 10 and lost twice this season. So it's going to be an interesting derby. There's only really 3 teams in Portugal because looking at the league table at the moment, it's the top 3 are on 38, 37, 37. And then the gap to 4th is like 9-10 points. Sporting Braga on 28. So Neil's here. Neil, welcome to the show, my friend. I will add you in because I've got people that were late today, so I can roll back. So Neil, let me add you into the show. I hope you're well, Neil, and then I hope you've had a really good Christmas, Neil. Yeah, I did, David. You said 4-1 for the Napoli game. I've got yours, mate. You're in. David Shear on this one is the first one in. He's got a tool draw. Mikey Romero's gone 1-3. Drula's gone 2-1. Carl Simpson's gone 2-1. Mr. M 1-2. Who else we got here? We've got Johnny Bethnal Green at 3-2. Jimmy Talks Football at 2-1. Neil 2-1. Spurs CCTV 2-all for Graham. Jimmy Hotspur 1-1. Jimmy Hotspur 1-all. David Clark 2-3. No, 1-2 for Kuba. Lord Rodney's gone for a 0-1. Lord Rodney. Paul G has gone 1-all. Let's see if I can find Paul G. Paul G's gone 1-all. Ronnie's gone 1-0. We're missing anyone. Rinketic. I need a score from Rinketic. I've gone for 2-1 Sporting versus Benfica. Rinketic, are you there? If you are, mate, Sporting versus Benfica, so I can roll around. Anybody else wanting to join in, you're more than welcome to do so. Right, okay, so Rinketic has not given me a score for Sporting versus Benfica. So the roll around is for, so Rinketic, Lord Rodney, Spurs GCTV, Mr. M and Neil. Your first game is, this is rolling back now, and anybody else that's new that wants to join in, this is the first game of the week. Leicester versus Manchester City, please. So there's 5 of you. So Rinketic, Lord Rodney, Graham, Mr. M, and Neil.
Oh, I can't deal with another lot. Come on, I can't do with 6.
2-all, 3. Not quite sure where Rinketic's gone. When he joins back in, we'll roll back for him. Next game for you guys is Crystal Palace versus Southampton, please. And that's the same people again. So this is for Rinketic, Lord Rodney, Graham, Mr. M, and Neil. Dula, take care of yourself and happy birthday to you again. Enjoy your festivities and your day. Next game, Everton versus Notts Forest. Lord Rodney's coming with a 3-2 already. So Rinketik's the only person I'm missing. Everyone else I'm getting the scores for. Zero 1 for Graham. Three-two for Lord Rodney, Mr. M, Neil, and Rinketik. And anybody else that may want to care to play, you're more than welcome to do so. Everybody is welcome. Neil's gone for a 1-1 draw. Now just waiting on Mr. M. 1-2. Thank you very much. All right, next game for you four, because Rinketik, I don't know where he is Fulham versus Bournemouth, please. Fulham, Bournemouth, and this is for Rodney, Graham, Mr. M, Neil. So Neil's coming with 2-1. Lord Rodney's coming with a 3-1. Graham's coming with a 1-2. Mr. M's coming with a 2-2. Right, the next game for you guys is Tottenham versus Wolves. Tottenham Wolves for you people. Lord Rodney, Spurs GT TV's 2-0. Lord Rodney's 1-2. Yes. Dekaru. Welcome, Dekaru. You missed last week, but Dekaru, you have shot up the table. Let me add Dekaru in. Dekaru, I will roll back just for you, sir. You're more than welcome. I will roll back just for you. I hope you're well. Dekaru's coming with this one with a 2-2. Mr. M 1-2. Neil surprisingly hasn't given me a score with this one. Neil, I'm waiting for a score for you, please, on this game. You was in Brisbane and you got home last night. Mikey Romero, yes, you're in, mate. You're done. You're in. Just waiting for Neil to give me a score. Dekaru, as you're here, let me just roll back just for you, Dekaru, quickly. Leicester versus Man City, please, Dekaru. Leicester, Man City for you, Dekaru. And then I'll show you the table because, yeah, you have climbed up the table. So Leicester versus Man City, Dekaru. 1-3. Neil's coming with a 3-1. Okay. Bear with me a second. We're just going to get Dekaru caught up. Crystal Palace, Southampton, Dekaru. No worries, Neil. This is just the 3 games and then we're all in tandem, just getting Dekaru caught up. 2-0 for Palace. That's a home victory. Dekaru, your next game is Everton versus Nottingham Forest, Dekaru. A 0-0. And then Fulham Bournemouth, and we're up to date with you. A 1-2. Right, so we're all caught up with everybody. So this is now for West Ham versus Liverpool. This is for Rinketic, Lord Rodney, Graham, Mr. M, Neil, and Dekaru. West Ham versus Liverpool, please, people. Rinketic wants 1-2 for everything. Okay. Right. So here we go. Is Graham's going 0-2. Oops, Graham's there, isn't he? Graham 0-2. Neil's going 1-3. One free for Mr. M. A 1-2 for Lord Rodney. And Dekaru's gone 1-4. Right, moving on to the next one for the same 5 people is Aston Villa versus Brighton, please. Aston Villa versus Brighton. Two all for Graham. In light Flynn, they say. 4-3 for Lord Rodney. A 1-all for Neil. A 2-3 for Dekaru. And I'm waiting on Mr. M. 2-3 for Mr. M. Right, same people again. Your next game is Ipswich versus Chelsea. Ipswich versus Chelsea, please. Zero 3 for Graham. A 1-3 for Mr. M. A 1-all for Dekaru. A 0-1 for Lord Rodney. And a 1-2 for Neil. Lord Rodney, I've received all yours. So, this next game is for Graham, Mr. M, Neil, and Dekaru. And that is that one. Yep, you're in. Well done. 1-2 for Graham. A 1-3 for Dekaru. A 1-3 for Neil. Just waiting on Mr. M's score. A 2-3. Johnny Bethnal Green flexing his member chat, set for member for 5 months. Thank you very much for your support, Johnny. You've been here from day one. And it says, Happy New Year, Jose, here for the long run. I'm glad to hear it, mate. So am I. And then we have the next game, and this is for the same 4 people at the moment, is Brentford versus Arsenal. So, again, this is for Graham, Mr. M, Neil, and Dekaru. A 1-1 for Graham. 2-1 for Neil. Graham, you're done, mate. You are sorted. You're in. All yours are done. Mr. M and the Dekaru is what I'm waiting for here. Dekaru says 2-1 as well. And then we have Mr. M. Mr. M says 1-2. Right. First bonus game of the weekend. Derby versus Leeds. And this is for Mr. M, Neil, and Dekaru. Mr. M, Neil, and Dekaru. Derby versus Leeds, please. Neil says 1-2. Mr. M, you're in. You're done, Mr. M. You're completed at 1-2. Dekaru says 1-3. Right, so you're in, Mr. M. Apologies, Jose, for being late. Lots going on this end. Wishing you and your family a happy new year, and thanks for all the hard work again this past year, my friend. No, Graham, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much. Another one that's been with me from day one. So thank you very much, sir. Right, this is for Neil and for Dekaru. For Neil and Dekaru, the second game, bonus game, is Orient versus Cambridge. I'm going to bring up the league table as well to show you, Dekaru and Neil. I'll bring it up for you as well because you're both late. So I'll show you what you did last week, Neil. And I'll show you the league table for you too. I'll bring that up once we've done the predictions. But Neil and Dekaru, Orient Cambridge is the second of the predictions. Dekaru says 2-0. Neil says 2-0. Right, this is just for Dekaru at the moment. And that's the third game, which is Napoli-Venezia. Neil, you'd already given me this, but you haven't given me the last one. So this is just Dekaru now. It's Napoli versus Venezia. One all draw. I don't know, Dekaru, you can predict what you want, but I'm just going to say that Napoli are second and Venezia are second from bottom. Does that change your decision, or do you want to keep your gut feeling of 1-1? It's second versus second from bottom. 3-0. Okay. Do you know what? That's the scoreline I went for. Right. And the last bonus game of the weekend, this is for both Neil and for Dekaru. And it's second versus first. Second versus first. It's Sporting Lisbon versus Benfica. Dekaru, you're superb, mate. Don't worry about it. Sporting versus Benfica. One all for Neil. And we have a 2-1 for Dekaru. Dekaru, believe it or not, I went for the 2-1 as well. Right, we are all in. Bear with me a second. Let me just save this. Right, so I've saved that. Right, so I don't know, is Graham still here? Graham, tell me if you're still here, because if you're still here, I need to show you something. Right, last week's scores. Neil, you did play last week, didn't you? So I believe that you did play. I don't think Dekaru did, but I think, Neil, you did. Where's Neil? Right, Neil, last week, mate, you scored 4 points. Yeah, you had the Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Leeds predictions. You correctly predicted the home wins. Right, you correctly predicted the home wins. So you got 4 points last week. And what's that? What that did to the tables are. Need to find you both. So Dekaru and Neil. Is Dekaru? Dekaru climbed up the table. There you go. Dekaru, there's 108 players. Dekaru, you're now 86th. So you climbed. Remember where you were before? You climbed. So you're now 86th, Dekaru. So well done, you. Neil, you will be. Neil, you're in 50th at the moment. Yeah. Although that looks wrong. Hold on, Neil. Let me see. That looks wrong to me. Where have I got Neil? Okay, Neil, that's incorrect, Neil. You're actually 47th. Yeah, Neil, sorry, you are 47th. I've got you, for some reason, I've got you in 50th. Sorry, Neil, that's incorrect. You are 47th. So that should be green. You should be green on that and 47th, yeah? So for my apologies, but you're actually 47th, which will be amended in the next table that I do. Yeah? So well done, you. Right, Mr. M. Sorry, Mr. M. Let me go back to have a look, mate. Table. Mr. M, you are 75th out of 108. You're 75th. It's a case of when you can catch the shows, but if you were on more often or predicted more often, you'd fly up that table. I have a feeling, Mr. M, that you could, having a decent week, you could probably climb up to about 8 places, having a decent week. 10 points is a decent week, and that'll climb you into probably 68th place, because Lord Rodney's playing this week, so Lord Rodney scores some points and Lord Rodney will go up as well. But that's where we are with the league tables. Right, so comments from people is hello, nice one. Am I last yet, says Ben? No, Ben, you've had a really good time of it lately. Ben, look, you're 76th. You've had a really good time. Ben, you missed 2 weeks ago. You actually correctly predicted a score. You went for a 2-all draw in a game, and it's the only 2-all draw you've ever done, and it came up 2-all. You got the exact score, and I think that week you scored really highly. It would have been in one of the results shows, but you scored really highly. Right, for Graham, obviously you're going to know this, Graham, already, But on Predict the Football, Graham, you've now extended your lead to 18 points. Danny's now gone into second. Destiny's dropped down to fourth. Rob Belcher's climbed into third. But you've extended your lead to 18 points over Danny. And more over Destiny. But Destiny and Danny were both on the same points. But obviously, I think you were 16 in front. You're now 18 in front. So you extended it by 2 points, Graham. So well done you, mate. Well done you on that. And then on the fantasy football, mate, it's like a double whammy for you, because on the fantasy football, if I remember rightly, you've also gone up in that as well. Let me have a look. Where was you? Right, there you go. Look, 17th. You've gone up. 17th. You're on a green, so you've gone up. You scored 79 points this week, which was, I think, is that the highest point? 78, 79. You got the most points this week that I can see with 79. Yeah, you got the most points this week on this. So you've climbed in that one as well, mate. You're on 989 points. You've climbed. So well done you, Graham. Well done you. What's the fantasy code? The fantasy code. And good morning, Nick, mate. I hope you're well. The fantasy stuff is there. Let me just copy. Right, for anyone who wants to play, you're more than welcome to play these two competitions if you haven't done so already. But I'm going to put it in the comment section, mate. There we go. So to play fantasy, it's there in the comment section. And if you want to join, because it's never too late, but if you want to join the Predict the Prem, which is the same as predictions, only it's done online, and they do it on goal difference and all sorts. But if you want to join that, you're more than welcome to do so. All new players are welcome. These are strictly online, so there's nothing for me to do. You just do them yourselves. You get sent an email every week for both of them to tell you that you're due to enter so you can change your teams because it's game week, and to put your predictions in, and it's all done. It's all done automatically. So them two are far easier to do. But yeah, you're more than welcome. Anybody's more than welcome to join both of them. So I've put them both in there. Neil says, as humble as you are, Jose, you should still take a bow. These are the holidays, and you put yourself out as always. I salute you, sir. No, Neil. We made a deal in the summer, and I said that I would do this. It's actually been really good for me to come on today because I've been really rough all week. And I'm looking forward to seeing my grandchildren today. So I'm really, really happy with that. So, and I'm happy that we've had people join this morning. I did this show because I had to revolve it around seeing my grandchildren today because they're up. Well, they came up last night. And they're having breakfast at the moment, and they will be shortly with us. So I had to put the show in and make sure that I brought everything up to date, because it's quite weird. Having football every 3 days is kind of weird, because it just then means that you've got to then plan out. So obviously the matches start tomorrow for this game week 19. They start tomorrow. They play Sunday, Monday. And there's no games on Tuesday. There's a game on Wednesday. The last game's on Wednesday. So game week 19 spread over Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. I'm doing the results show for this on Thursday. And then on Friday, we will do week 20 predictions. And I think that from week 20, we go back to normal again. But it just means that within these 2 weeks, this 2-week window, we would have had game week 17, 18, 19, and 20. So, yeah, it's been good for me to come on today as well. It must be Christmas luck, says Graham. Kuba. Pick up Jose for all what you put in now. Thank you very much, Kuba. Another one who's been with me from day one and accepted me from day one. It's superb. It's superb. Neil says, we did, but you were still on the plane you weren't. Nah. I enjoy doing this. And actually, because of work commitments, it seems to be that the only time I'm getting to do actual shows on this channel are the predictions leagues. So, you know, I'd like to do more than that, but life is life, and that's the way it is at the moment with work. So, Graham says, you don't owe me nothing, sir. Don't owe me nothing. You're forgetting you're dealing with a lot of us nutters. You know what? You're not nutters. You're all superb. You're all superb people. All superb people. And it's good that we've got a community. You all know each other. You can all banter with each other. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm happy with the community we've got. As I said, if anyone wants to join the predictions league, there it is. Right? And you can join in. Not a problem at all. And anyone that wants to join the fantasy, the code is there as well. You can join. Ian Mess here. Good morning. He says, picking up the show but as I go, but comments are live, so hopefully I can pick up predictions of EPL. I have to check the bonus goes there. Leicester 0, City 2. Okay, let me just add you, Ian. If you're here now, I can do you before I finish. And I mean in the sense of adding your scores in. Bear with me, Ian. Let me find you, and I can do it. Mr. Meth. Right, Mr. Meth. I'm going to add you now. You're going for a 0-2. A 2-0. And a 1-2. Right, Ian, for you, your next game then is, mate, is Fulham Bournemouth. I'm a nutter, says Ben Kaufman. Are you really? I don't think you are, mate. I don't think you are. Mr. M says, I'm not. He's not a nutter. No, he's just Wenger out, Mr. M. Mr. M's quite clear. He's just Wenger out. But then he says to Neil, you need a nutter to deal with other nutters. I don't know whether Ian's with us, but if you are, Ian, it's Fulham Bournemouth. Yeah, I'm not sure whether Ian's with us or not. But if he's not, he can always leave them afterwards. I've got the first 3 for him, and he can leave them afterwards. Yeah, so as I said, the next show will be Thursday. Although what I'm hoping to do is I may well do a members show. Here we go. Ian's come back in there. I may well do a members show on New Year's Eve. Fulham 0, Bournemouth 0. 0-0. 2-1 to Tottenham. 1-2. 1-2. 2-0. A 1-3. Ian, if you're here, I can do the bonus games with you live, mate. A 1-2. A 0-2. Right, Ian, if you're here, tell me, and I'll do them live with you, mate. No one that calls themselves a nutter is a nutter. Facts, says Mr. M. Graham says the nuts only come out at Christmas. Must be an age thing. Neil says nutters are not. Love to you all. Fantastic. And Johnny Bethnal Green says, Mr. M, I think I can overturn that saying, geezer. Is what Johnny BG says. Yeah, what I might well do. I might set up a members show for New Year's Eve. Do one in the afternoon, my time. I don't know, about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and do a members show just to wrap up the year with the members that we've got, or that we have on that day, should I say. And yeah, we'll take it from there. It'd be good to do something like that and get the year ended on a positive with the people that we've got within the community. Ian, I'm not sure whether you're about or not, but if you are, I was prepared to do this live with you. Ian, don't Ian. Yeah, Dakari, I was thinking of doing one, but the problem that I've got, or the issue that I've got, Dakari, is that if I do one as early as this in the morning, I'm not going to get all the Americans in because obviously of their timings. And then obviously I'm thinking about what we're doing as a family on that day as well. I haven't decided yet. I'll do it at a time, and I will make sure that I do the I don't know whether Ian's listening, but if you are listening, Ian, that's your first bonus game. Johnny, Ben Kaufman says, Johnny, I know you have to be a nutter to go through Shoreditch. Ian says, hi, well, I'm listening to the show about an hour plus behind, but chat is live. Ian, I'm live and I will do bonus with you. Right. Let me see if he sees that. I think we hit the new year 1 p.m. your time. Yes, some of you do, because I think David doesn't hit the new year till 4 o'clock our time. So 4 p.m. Our time. I think he hits it live then. But yeah, because it depends what part of Australia you're on. Some are between 1 and 4 p.m. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. God bless, God go bless to all, says Graham. Yeah, will be a positive if Spurs wins and reinforcements arrive in January. Neil, New Year's Eve, the window opens the following day. Right, Ian, Derby versus Leeds is your first bonus game, mate. I've got it there on screen for you, Ian. Derby versus Leeds. Try coming from Shoreditch, Ben. I'm over there today, going home. Oh, enjoy yourself if you're going home today, mate. Enjoy yourself. Have a really good time. Mr. M says, try the Seven Sisters, Johnny. Ian's telling me that he's live and he's here. Yeah, and I'm saying Derby versus Leeds for you, Ian. Derby Leeds. That's the first bonus game. 1-2 for Ian. Lovely. Right, Ian, the next bonus game, I've got 4 this week, is Orient Cambridge. EMF says, can I join the Jose Appreciation Society? Amazing job from an amazing guy. Thank you very much, Ian. I hope it went well in the gym. I hope you didn't smash him up too bad. Johnny Bethel Green says, Mr. M is the posh yid. And Ben says, my first relative in the UK lived and died in Hanbury Street, says Ben. Yes, mate, a future hope. Posh, says Mr. M. Orient 1-0. Right, so Orient 1-0. I'm reading the comments as we do this. Ian, third one is Napoli versus Venezia. Mr. M says, live in a flat and drive a banged out van fella. Is that posh? Wenger out is what I say, Mr. M. Wenger out. Johnny Bethnal Green says, my family had a house in Hanbury Street years ago, went to school 2 streets away. Yeah, it's amazing that people talk that way. I mean, you don't hear many people nowadays say, yeah, I live 3 streets from you.
Hello?
Or I live 2 streets from you. You don't hear many people that say stuff like that anymore. But it's the way that we used to speak back in the day all the time.
Down there, then.
So you actually reminded me, Johnny Bethnal Green. So
I called him earlier to say you'd be there about 12ish, so they know. So yeah, so just go.
3-0.
All right then. Okay. Bye.
3-0. And then the last
What you do?
prediction game is Sporting versus Benfica. That's the last one for you, Ian. Yeah, you know you're posh when you got a van in London. Ian says, can you make it 2-0? Yeah, you certainly can, Ian. It's a 2-0 for you, sir. And can I ask kindly, those that are still with us and bantering and chantering away, can you hit the like button? It'd be good. Lily White Lane. Robbie, how are you? I hope you are well, sir. He says, big up Jose and all in the chat. Hope everyone's had a great Christmas and is enjoying these days until the new year. Crimbo Limbo. Anyone watching the DOS? Robbie, yeah, I've been ill all week, but back now. Happy to be back today. Got my grandchildren coming up today, so it's going to be my highlight of the week for me. I'll be seeing them in a couple of hours' time. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Nice to see you, mate. I hope you're well. And with the darts, I was just saying earlier on, we were talking about the darts this morning when we first started the show nearly 3 hours ago. And I was saying that for me, the form riders are the ones that are still left in the competition, and I can't see the winners coming outside of Humphreys, Littler, and Van Gerwen. Humphreys and Littler on form. Van Gerwen you can never rule out, and I can't see the winner coming outside of them three. Also, I said today that today in my club, registration starts in 40 minutes in my working men's club. They've got a darts competition, tenner per man entry or per woman, whoever wants to play. We got 16 dartboards. We got 16 dartboards, and now that Rob has been knocked out in the second round, Rob will be in the competition today. And Rob has his training partner, Adrian, can't remember his surname for the life of me, who's also a pro darts player. And they keep Rob at one side of the draw and Adrian on the other. Normally, invariably, they both meet in the final. Rob always wins it. And when he enters, he always wins it. And he just puts all the winnings back into behind the jump for everyone to have a drink. So that's going on today. And as I said, registration starts in 40 minutes. But I've got my grandchildren up today, so I won't be meeting Rob today for a drink. But I might see him during the week leading up. I might see him New Year's Eve. But there we go. Yeah, but as I said, for me, it's the two Lukes and Van Gerwen. Can't see anyone winning outside them three. I don't think Luke Humphreys got out of second gear yesterday, and he demolished Kenny, didn't he? So, and Little is playing tonight. So yeah, and Van Gerwen, I said you can't. For me, you can't look past them three. Ben says my family was deep rooted in Shoreditch before they moved out to Clayhall, which was seen as posh then. How wrong they would be now. I haven't even got a clue where Clayhall is. Neil says when I was growing up, we had so many relations in the area. I thought we owned Belvedere. Mr. M says, I don't live there anymore, fella. Essex now. I think you need to learn what posh means. Sporting 2-2 Daigle. Ah, you're going for the last one. That's a Daigle. Ian, you're in, mate. I've got your predictions. You're now in. Brilliant. Ben, all the best blood comes out of Shoreditch and Spitalfields in and Bethnal, says Johnny Bethnal Green. What about Whitechapel? Rubbish to hear, Jose. Have a great day, mate. Thanks, Robbie. Had to go against the two Lukes at the moment. Price has a good run, though. Okay. Darts clubs are getting bigger and bigger. Class that crosses there. Play locally in tournaments myself. Love it. Superb, superb. And Ian Meth says, thanks, Jose. Right. As I said, what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to do a members show. I will plan to do a members show and I will put it up and we'll do it on New Year's Eve. It's not the Monday on New Year's Eve. So it's either Monday or New Year's Eve. Just watch out for the notification bell. I will set up the show. I need to thank Peter Kagayas for gifting 5 LTEL Cockerel memberships earlier. And they went out to 5 people that I'd already read out. And also to Johnny Bethnal Green for flexing his 5-month member badge. Been with me from day one as well, Johnny. So thank you to you both for sponsoring the show. Everyone, enjoy yourselves in whatever you choose to do. Whether I see you or don't see you, please enjoy yourselves, and have a really, really good remainder of your Saturday, a really great weekend, and, you know, happy, healthy, and all that. And as always, as I finish off, it's always with me. It's come on, you Spurs, and in the big Ange, I trust. Take care, everyone. God bless. Love you lots. I'm out.